And we are live, guys. Welcome to the Men of High Value channel, your channel for understanding the woman and the world of relationships. Today we will talk about 3 ways that Men of High Value is different from anything else out there. Remember to like, subscribe, and let's just get going. One way that Men of High Value is different from anything else out there is that we simply do not blame. We understand that women are the way they are for a reason. They were designed in a way that when things happen to them, they answer in return because of their emotions. It's just the way it is. And if we start blaming them, then their emotions will escalate. And if their emotions escalate, then we will get into bigger problems. This has been the same thing over and over in history, that when men have blamed women, then things have escalated and there have been more problems. And it's not only men who blame women. You gotta remember that women also blame women, and women blame themselves because of something that is called their emotions, because they know what is the right thing to do, and so they blame themselves for not doing it. But it's also because of religion. Religion tells them that they're not doing what they're supposed to do, or their thoughts are evil, or whatever you might think of. Women have been blamed for centuries, for millennia. And we are putting a stop to that by erasing that blame. And it starts right here, right now, with Men of High Value, not blaming. So we're going forth with the correct example of how things are supposed to be. And the cool thing is that Men of High Value is not bound by any religion. Okay, you can be a Muslim, you can be Christian, you can be Buddhist, you can be anything, except for the fact that we just do not blame. There you go. And number 2, the second way that Men of High Value is different from anything else out there is that we want women to be emotionally free. Let women do whatever they want. So when we choose to not blame, then we're also allowing them to explore their emotions, to share with us what their emotions are, to not keep secrets, to basically help us understand who they are by acting out on their emotions. Now, if we allowed them to do that right now and we allowed women to do whatever they want all the time, of course we'd head into problems. But we can start small. We can start small with our women. We can have them explain to us how they feel. We can have them explore their emotions. But of course you got to be careful about it. But the most important thing is that we learn to control ourselves. We do what is correct from a long-term perspective, not just what is exciting right now. We need to understand that we need to control ourselves, and hopefully our women will follow suit and feel that we are going in the right direction. And number 3, we at Men of High Value, we are focused on the long term. Take the player movement, for example. Out there, people are learning about the woman, they're learning about how to have sex with different women as often as they want. And those things actually, unfortunately, work. Women are quite simple when it comes to those things once you've figured it out. But there's a problem with that, because that movement is very based on short-term things. You get what you want short-term. You get the woman in bed short-term. But eventually you lose her, or she stops being interesting, so you move on to the next girl. This destroys women in the short term, but also in the long term, because women suffer because of those things. And eventually they become more masculine, and eventually civilization collapses. It's important that men, through this channel, Men of High Value, learn that civilizations have collapsed because of those things. Civilizations collapse because men become feminine and women become masculine. And this is what we're trying to change with the Men of High Value movement, is we're thinking long term. How can we prevent civilization from collapsing? How can we make sure that we turn things around? And that's what we're interested in. We're interested in the long term and not messing women up in the short term to have it collapse. Because we can prevent this. We actually can. The only way that we're going to do it, though, is through understanding the woman and understanding what we can do to turn things around. And the only way that we can turn things around is by us changing, us blaming ourselves as men, us understanding that we need to be emotionally disciplined and we allow women to do their thing. And we're also focused on the long term while we allow women to be focused on the short term. We are able to make a change in this world if we choose to. This is the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling, and I will see you again tomorrow.